I did not see results until I started doing this. I have big biceps, big quads, no glutes. Welcome back to my channel. I used to have concave glutes. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to take you guys through my journey. Do these 4 things, then thank me. You're welcome. Today is going to be a little bit different. I am just going to sit here and talk to you. I want to tell you how I was able to transform the shape of my body. Literally transform. My glutes used to be concave. So how I transformed my glutes from being concave to actually having a shape. I do get a few cat calls on the street. I usually say thank you because I'm just so proud of all the hard work that I put in, honestly. Anyway. So today I'm going to take you guys through my lifting journey a little bit and then these tips that I implemented to really see results. So I have 4 tips for you guys, but first let's dive into how I even got started with lifting in the first place because I don't think I've talked to you guys about it yet. My best friend Amanda and I would go to the gym after school and we would just go on the elliptical or the treadmill, hit some abs, maybe hold a plank, and then be done. But one of our guy friends actually went to the same gym as we did and decided to show us some lifting exercises. So at that time, it was so new to us and we really didn't take it seriously. We would just do some lifting, but first we had to do our 20 minutes or 30 minutes of cardio because I used to think that if I did not leave the gym without going on a cardio machine and burning X amount of calories, that my workout was useless. That was very wrong. I also thought that girls had to do different exercises than guys because girls have different body types than guys, and I thought that if I were to start lifting super heavy, I would automatically bulk up and be very unhappy with how I looked. That is not the case. That will be a whole different video. Today we'll focus on glutes. When I went to college, I became even unhappier with how I looked because I went from my oil-free, plant-based food to having the temptation of junk food and granola and endless peanut butter in the college dining hall. I would eat that and then I just really did not like how I looked. I started having a stomach and then my butt was even going more in the opposite direction, so I just looked very imbalanced. So one day I was in my college gym and I saw this girl, Jen, shout out, hi Jen. Jen was squatting and she has the body that I wanted. She had really nice glutes, was really athletic. Okay, she must be doing something right. So she taught me how to squat with the bar. Normally before that I would just squat on the Smith machine and even then it was just, I wasn't doing it right. And then simultaneously 2 other things happened. I started to realize that all of the girls in the college gym that had that physique that I wanted, they were prioritizing the free weight section. I still thought that I had to do cardio each time. And then one of my guy friends who I had this giant crush on in school, he told me that I would never see glute progress if I kept doing a million different styles of training and did not prioritize heavy lifting. I wanted to prove it to myself that I could do it, so I just started focusing on lifting. I stopped freaking out if I didn't do cardio each session, or I stopped doing HIIT circuits or workout classes and boot camps and the Kayla Bikini Body Guide because that's, I started prioritizing lifting. So it was awkward at first, but I'm still here like 7 years later, so it had to have worked. I really did not see huge glute progress until I started doing these things. Do glutes at least twice a week. I used to do 2 leg days, but I would prioritize quads. I don't know why I did that because I already have pretty dominant quads. I have big biceps, big quads, no glutes. I would just do 2 leg days that weren't prioritizing glutes. I realized that in order to see maximum glute growth, I needed to do them twice a week because you need to be doing enough reps and sets of each muscle group a week to see growth in general. And glutes are really cool because they have all of these different functions and you can work them in different planes of motion. So it's not like you're doing squats your entire workout. Squats challenge your glutes vertically, do deadlifts, the hip thrusts are horizontal, and then you can do stuff in the lateral directions like side lunges and lateral walks, banded stuff. So you can really be working the glutes from all different angles, and if you sprinkle different exercises in, you won't feel that fatigued or not recovered enough. Train glutes at least twice a week. I now do them 3 times. Hip thrust. A lot of old school people think that the hip thrust is just hokey and you can still build glutes doing squats and deadlifts and lunges, which isn't wrong, but for some people, hip thrusts really force that glute activation. So since I'm a quad dominant person, whenever I would do squats, my quads would just take over. And then I had bad ankle mobility too, so I couldn't even get down far enough. I hurt my back at the gym, so then I couldn't do squats, so I had to do hip thrusts. Then my back recovered, and then I hurt my ankle. Do squats, hip thrusts. And hip thrusts are really cool because you load the weight horizontally. You don't have that weight on your back. You can really load up the hip thrust and force that hip extension without taxing your whole nervous system. So that really, really helped. I now do hip thrusts every time I do glutes. There are so many different variations of hip thrusts. You can do a normal hip thrust where you let the weight stop in between each rep. You could do constant tension where you're just not letting the bar touch the floor. You can do split stand, single leg, all of this stuff. They're awesome. If you are someone who cannot feel your glutes working when you're in the squat or deadlift or lunge, definitely try them out. Biggest tip for hip thrusts, get a barbell pad. If you try to hip thrust the bar without any cushion, you will probably shatter all of your bones. It will hurt, it will not feel good, it will feel even more awkward. So definitely invest in a barbell pad. Focus on your form before you load up that bar. If you're not getting the most out of each rep, the rep doesn't even count. Tax your muscle. You need to force that stimulus on it for it to get damaged and for you to see muscle growth. If you are being lazy, if you're not focusing, if you're rushing just for the sake of putting more weight, it's a waste. It's a lot better to take the time to build up the form. You will be able to find that sweet spot of the perfect amount of weight where you can feel activation throughout the whole movement and not kill yourself or really limit your range of motion because of how heavy that weight is. Take each rep intensely, take it seriously, get that mind-muscle connection. If you are about to pick up a weight, start thinking about how you're going to execute the rep. Start thinking and visualizing in your head that muscle and how it's going to contract, and then you can really establish that control over the duration of the contraction and that control over your muscle, which will really, really help get you progress. The last thing, have a structure to your training. Make sure you're hitting your compound moves first and doing your isolations at the end. And isolations are super important. Don't discredit them, but just don't let your whole workout revolve around them. So I like to do my really heavy stuff first that will work a lot of the muscle groups, and then at the end I will do my banded, my kickbacks, my lateral walks, my high rep stuff, just to burn out the muscle when I don't need all of my energy in them. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope that helped. Basically, you need to prioritize lifting and change up your training to focus more on the glutes and incorporate the hip thrust. That will help, I promise. So let me know if you guys have any other questions below. I definitely will be doing more of these little chats just to tell you my tips and tricks on how I change the shape of my body through lifting and the best ways to build muscle, and especially building muscle on a vegan diet, which is a whole nother video. Let me know if you guys have any other suggestions, what you want to see, how I can help you, and if you're on Instagram, head over there because that is where I post a lot of my workouts so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, have a great rest of your day, and the next time you go to the gym, think about these tips and go crush your workout. Bye!